All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. And we got the Crypt Keeper pulled in here to the shop. And this is the start of the damages, I guess we'll say. I got it ready to lift up here, but front clip should have been, should have been straight down with this. Let's get a good side shot here. Let's see. It's got a little overbite, Jason. Yeah, a little overhang, like your big belly. I got that problem too, I guess. The only thing we really see up here is obviously it's pushed against the clear view. It did shear the bolt off. There's two bolts coming up through the bottom. Maybe a few other things, like this is right. This was always pretty close to the dry sump tank. Might be a little closer. Obviously the door, I think that's pretty well done for. I don't know. We've probably fixed dumber stuff before, but yeah, it's not looking too hot. The other thing that we did notice, for whatever reason, this steering knuckle right there is right up against the valve cover. So, I mean, this all came ripping through. But let's go ahead, let's lift it up here and take a look at the bottom side. Obviously, it crushed this right in on this side here, right to the 2x3 frame rail that I had in there. So if we would have had a bumper, which I always wanted to build, probably would have saved most of this. Unfortunately, we've just been out of time, Jason.
Hey, one good thing about it, it saved a couple $100 on tires.
Yeah, saved a couple $100 on tires. Yeah, that's, you gotta look at the bright side of things, guys. So, I mean, it can all be fixed. We just need to get the front end straightened out somewhat, make sure everything else is good. We need a radiator. We need to make a new catch tank up front for sure. And then hopefully the rest of it's just minor stuff. Just need to get tweaked back out. I mean, we're not going, like I said in the last video, we're not going 180 mile an hour down the drag strip. We're going to a burnout competition where we need to smoke the rear tires, blow them, and he needs to be able to steer, and we need mechanically to be able to function and operate. So let's lift it up and see what it looks like underneath. Well, Jason, you might want to stop unload and come take a look, because I see a pretty good problem already.
Transmission's junk. I should have left the other one in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this bar right here is tweaked pretty good. So we've got a motor that's completely shifted in there. Is probably what we got going on. I mean, transmissions obviously. Oh, you got transmissions actually tipped in there, isn't it? Sure looks like from certain angle here.
Like I told you, hit the wall. It went in reverse, and I didn't put it in reverse.
Yeah, but that shifter doesn't really have good stops. I don't know what shifter it is.
Raceworks. Operator shifter.
Yeah? We've got to get a driver first.
Maybe Tanner should have just drove this.
Because I know for a fact that this, I thought was, I don't know. I didn't think it was quite as exposed, which would make sense because obviously with this being bent forward. Oh, the actual motor mount, you're saying?
Yeah, well, it's only welded like 1 inch right here.
Well, I didn't expect it to be creamed into a wall.
See, you did hit the header. And then it...
Oh yeah, did give her a slight little poke there of the exhaust. And I'm sure everything obviously jarred around. Good news is the weld's still on the header, Jason. So that's good.
Did your weld hold back here that you just did?
So, yeah, obviously took a pretty good lick up here. Like I said, this is pushed right into that 2x4 frame rail, and it must have just, so it just shoved this side back. I mean, it hit that hard that I think we just kind of shoved this side in, and then something obviously probably has a slight kink in it this way. It's hard to tell right now, just looking down everything, but I think this had this slight curve in it.
Here's the bow right here.
Oh, yep, there you go, right there. You can see the bow out. And that's probably, no, that's after my 2x4, so. And unfortunately, I was always going to plate this inside of here and just, lack of time, Jason. Like everything else. Didn't get around to it. I don't know what we're going to do about the frame rail, but I'm thinking the front end. Oh, can we get a good shot up here? This dry sump tank, yeah. Rip the metal over here. Crushed her pretty good. I think that one's done for. Do you have any
What
more?
about the radiator? Can we weld that?
Which spot? I think there's like 4 spots that are leaking on it.
The spot where the crank's hitting it, or what?
I don't even think that put a hole in it. There's
As
a
long
few.
as my fan's good, I guess.
The fan is good, so we'll get with Holly, get a radiator. So really we need, like I said, a catch tank, radiator. Oh, your tranny cooler's up front too. I must not have punctured that, Jason, because I don't recall any tranny fluid leaking out. We would have had a massive trail coming in here, so. Well, there's a look at it. We'll start pulling some stuff later here. I got a lot of work to do on the Camaro yet if we think we're going to have that done. And Death Trap is parked on the other side of the shop. We need to check the clear view on that, make sure it looks good. We probably don't need to check this one, Jason. I mean, I don't think it ran long enough, like 6 to 9 second run.
Was it? Probably more than that.
No, I don't think it was. We better not look because it was probably actually less than that. But yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff we got to get done here, and this just adds to the list of things. And you know what? Shit happens. So all the shit comment, all the keyboard warriors down there, you know, shit happens, guys. So it's unfortunate. It sucks, but you know what? The rest of the drivetrain is good to go. So I don't know. It is what it is. Just don't do it again.
You get a bumper on it, and it won't do as much.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, we really should have had a bumper on there. I mean, you never want to drive it in the wall anyways, but could have had a nice old school bumper on there, a nice heavy one.
A rubber one, when you hit it, it'll bounce.
Yeah, that's what the old school ones were with the cushion. He wants to get sprung back off of the wall.
Yep. Put one in the back too, so we can just bounce from wall to wall.
Well, I guess we looked at this, so we'll hop on over and look at Death Trap, check the clear view, and then we'll have to hit her another night here. Well, next night in the shop here, and lo and behold, Jason's here.
I think we could weld that up.
Which spot? It's pretty well tweaked. Maybe we could cut those bungs off. I don't know.
Nah, I'll just get new ones faster.
Yeah, I think she took a pretty good beating there.
Just lay her down in the.
Yeah, let's.
It'll straighten out.
Yeah. Oh well, Jason got a new radiator coming. Unfortunately, this was a Frostbite Holly brand, and yeah, they don't have any until what I tell you, August.
8:30, I think.
Yeah. And then this is the dry sump tank that we had in here that we were using as a catch tank from the breathers, from the valve covers, and then over here off of the main dry sump tank, this top vent here. So we had all 3 lines going to that tank, and Jason, I think that's...
It's got a, they can talk about it. There's a big hole right in the bottom right down there.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, the only good thing is really it is a 2-piece one.
You can use this top half for something.
I was actually serious about maybe we could somewhat pry it open down there. Even if I just wrap a piece of thin aluminum around the outside of it. You're never going to see it. I don't know. But he's got the water pump out. We got the clear view off. Anything damaged there?
No, it's a swivel fitting.
Okay. Fan still good. Obviously, the zip strip things, those got to be cut.
There's just a little spot on the bottom. I think it's good.
It's got a nick on it. Oh, man. And then trans cooler is good?
It's not leaking, but for what little bit they are, probably just get a new one.
Yeah, I think that was... You probably got an eBay special or Amazon. Looks like a cheap one.
No.
So, what do we got left here? You need to get the tank out. And then...
try to push from the front motor to the grill, and it should push it.
Okay, yep. So we'll put the porta power, this bad boy, push off this motor plate, which is almost solid to the block. There's a lot of flat plate there. Push off that and maybe see how much of this we can push out. And then the biggest challenge is the frame rail.
Put some braces on it, basically.
I think next time you need a demo derby bumper. Well, I figure we better get a little before shot and see how good we can.
Plenty befores at the event.
No, let's get another one. We did put the port power against there then. We pushed this out. Kind of gave up on this for now because a lot of this is stuck over here inside the 2x4 front tubing. So we're going to try and push off the firewall, which is some heavier steel, and use this rubber bumper one, which, Jason, I'm not going to lie, you know, we kind of had to massage the driver's side when I might have just slightly tapped the wall to Orlando. But yeah, so we're going to try and push this back out and see kind of what happens more over here. So let's try that now. Well, A&J body repair? Yeah. No, we don't want to start a new business. We'll just call it Jason's body repair. But it didn't turn out too bad. Obviously, this was a tear. It was already in there. But we're not going for body shop perfection, are we?
No.
No, we're going to call that good enough. If you just take a look at the before, should we give them a before shot?
Yeah.
They haven't.
They couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, they probably couldn't.
Before the damage.
Yeah, but no, it looks pretty good. I mean, we could work on this a little bit in the center here, but you know what? I think we're just going to call it good. Jason's going to zip that tire off, but it's not too bad. It's got some tears and some wrinkles in it, but we're going to at least try and get this out because this did get pushed back enough where it's just getting tight to the tire there. And then I think we're calling it good, aren't we? Well, okay, so then the only thing we got to do is the frame now. But as far as the old body panels, we do have to do some work in here. I've got this all vice grip together. We'll have to come up with, you know, maybe something off of this to hold that better. And then I did, I guess we never showed him this over here, Jason. The door piece. The entire B-pillar.
That was broke before, though, too.
Well, yeah, but I did weld it, and it broke again, because...
The weld must not have held.
Yep. All right, well, if he gets that tire zipped off here, like I said, we'll push on this little bit here, and then hopefully that'll pull that down, and this side should be good. All right, well, I just got back from a city council meeting, and holy crap, Jason's over here.
Yeah.
So checking, what are you checking, valve lash here?
Yep. I think I got.
We don't have a push button out here. You got to go in.
No.
What the heck is?
I needed to. Nobody else is here, so I got a shovel. So I was reaching over here and looking, trying to tap and.
That's one way of doing it. You know, usually when you check a lot of
my push button thing.
Yeah. Oh, your Lone Wolf 9000 vice grip.
I think I might have found one that's. What is it? 16.
15 and 17.
This is 16. It's a little loose, so maybe not enough to affect. I bet it's only or too picky for what little.
So we got just a little bit of shavings in the clear view. So Jason's going through, checking the valve lash here just to see if there's anything obvious, and just that one. You already did this side?
No, I didn't. It's
Okay.
kind of hard to. Don't have a 180 degree shovel.
Oh, yeah. You need something to get in there from the other side. All right, well, I'm here, so I'm going to help. We'll go through this side, because it did kind of sound a little fluttery on this side, but we'll take a look and see. Well, it's a new day out in the shop, and I've got my certified welder here welding inside the car. He's already made his way inside the car. Already welded everything up in the back of it here. He's got his boy hanging out here playing soccer games, I think. What are you playing over there? FIFA, I don't know. FIFA. But anyways, yeah, I can't really see a whole lot, but he's got every sheet welded up in here. So we're good to go. We got a few things that I think I might just panel bond like this to this flimsy back section here, but yeah, he's making his way through this inside real quick here in short order. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the tires on the panel quick here so we can get this off the hoist. Unfortunately, we still got to straighten that motor out, but if I get the wheels on, we can get both of these out, and I'd like to get the Camaro up on here because we got to weld the inside of the wheel tubs and the back of it, and maybe weld a little bit of the sheet metal to the actual 2x3 frame in the back. So let's get the wheels on, let's get these out, and get the Camaro on the hoist. Well, you know what? Carlos said go ahead and jack the back end up, take the tires off, and he crawled up in here and he welded the inside of the wheel tubs up on the ground. So everything, like I said, there's some small stuff that I want to do, and a lot of that is going to be like connecting the outside of the tub. It's just such thin paper metal out there versus the wheel tubs. But panel bond, or you know, get panel bond on it and then seam sealer, we'll figure out something with that. We do have some stuff in here that we need to tidy up as well. Gaps there from cutting that out. A few things in the corner here, a little bit up in that back corner up there. So there's a little bit left to do, but I've got the battery tray out of burning green, and I put that in here on this side, thinking we'll just drill, riv nut that down to the floor, use that Astro Tools riv nut gun. That'll work great there. And then we can start. I think at this point we're just going to set the Dominator in here. I know it's not the right thing to do, but I don't know exactly where I'm going to mount it, and I don't really have time. So we can run our main power cables right up to that. For the Dominator, run our main power up and probably screw a terminal up somewhere. Got a dash insert coming for the Holley 6.86 dash. We got a lot of stuff coming from Holley, seats and everything, but we just got a lot of stuff to do. So the next thing I want to do is take out the fuel tank out of burning green, get that in here. We got to cut out for the rear sump section, so that'll be next. And then, yeah, I don't know. When Jason gets here, we need to finish putting that motor back in Crypt Keeper, and then I need to work on some kind of motor mounts for this so I can get the mid plate and figure out what we're doing here. You know, frame damage is unfortunately right where I need to put a mount. I'll figure it out. I'll keep you updated along the way, but it is looking sweet inside. So thanks again to Carlos for coming over and helping weld that all up for me, and just takes a lot of time off of my hands for doing other things and keeping the project rolling along. Get this done. Jason checked over Death Trap like we showed earlier. So I think that's pretty much all good to go. And then this motor here is what we're going to be using. So unfortunately, we don't have time to build one. So this valve cover has been off for a long time. There's stuff sitting down in around that head bolt, just shavings everywhere, because I never intended to use this motor the way it was. So I've always had a valve cover or something off of it, intake off. Crap has been falling in there for years. So we're going to have to pull it out, pull it apart. We're going to, this is going to be scary, guys, and bear with me. We're going to put our timing cover on it. We're going to put our timing chain set, hopefully the camshaft. We're going to take a ported set of 317 heads, put all the valves and springs and everything off of the original burning green motor in a ported set of 317 heads. Use the rockers, and then we're going to run the tall intake, which I don't want to do, which is sitting over on the bench over there. And the reason why I don't want to run that is just because I don't think it looks good, but we have to because they're cathedral port on the 317s. Obviously the blower and everything. Got a radiator coming, got fans. And yeah, we're just going to run the stock cranks, stock rods. We're going to put ARP rod bolts in it. We're going to gap the rings. We're planning on not touching any bearings. This is going to be a scary situation here, but we're just going to send it. We'll see what happens. Then we've got headers for it, and the motor plate off of burning green bolted right up. We've got clearance, so that means we can bolt power steering here. Fuel pump down in those two holes, and that's all that ran this motor. So because it's mechanically injected, saves us a tremendous amount of effort. The rest of data acquisition is basically going to be to the Dominator for coolant temp and oil pressure, crank, cam sensors, and that's really about it. Also got a Bearer Master cylinder coming from Holley. Just, I don't know, there's a litany of stuff coming. So enough rambling on. We'll show you the stuff when it gets here. Let's work on mounts for this, battery, fuel tank, and let's see where we go from there. Can't do this all one-handed. I could go down, just give me a second. Alright. What do we got here?
Some meth.
So you got meth, high output fans, Dorelli, yep. And hold on, let's get up here. Just, oh, FTI. That's what we've been waiting on. We're gonna have to get that bad boy inside and open it up. But yeah, fans for the Camaro, methanol, because we're always high on meth. Got another drum there. But yeah, let's get her unloaded. Well, special delivery day in the shop, Jason. Who's the package from?
FTI.
TH400. Oh, well, that's not this one.
1100 horsepower rated. Oh, are we gonna make that much?
We're gonna have to turn the boost down. Dorelli high output dual fan. Obviously, this is two separate fans, but goes together and makes one fan, I guess. I don't know how the wiring's gonna work with that. But then, yeah, down below here, we're gonna crack this bad boy open. We'll set it right beside the baby Power Glide here. But that is the FTI for the Camaro Turbo 400, Jason.
Are these gonna work? Because you're wanting them on the front side. It's not a pusher, it's a puller.
We'll just wire them backwards. It'll be fine. Dorelli, you're not watching this video.
Blaze probably won't.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. They might not work, but they should. Okay, we'll open this up and come back at you.
That big gun out of the way.
Yours?
Jeez. Box inside of the box.
Read first.
And
Stickers. That's all. They wanted you to let you know they sent stickers.
no bubble gum, no lollipops.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we got, don't quote me on this, but I think it's a 10-inch converter when I talked to the guys there. So that's the converter for this. It's not a bolt together. It's just a welded up converter.
It's 10.
That's what she said. So converter bolts in there. Then there should be somewhere in here, maybe it's in there, Jason, but there should be an adapter, like a coupler or whatever you want to say, that takes the GM for an LS. You got to have a little spacer thing, which is what we currently run. But yeah, I'll continue to record while Jason continues to lift and work. That way it's on video for Mike.
Yeah.
I would say I could help you and grab one end of it, but I bet it's a little bit heavier than the core that we had.
A little bit, probably. Oh, listen. Oh, what do we got here?
Oh man, trans brake for racing.
Oh man.
So it's got the Ultra Bell. Obviously, it's just a stock case, and then I think it's a roller tail housing.
Hey, this looks a little better than that Facebook Marketplace one we bought.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously a homemade hack job, we'll call it, versus a true manufactured piece. Fits very, very nicely. But yeah, Ultra Bell stock case, Taylor roll housing, and I think it's got a deep pan on it. And then, like I said, torque converter. Hopefully the adapter piece is in there, Jason. Granted, we already have a flex plate and the adapter, so it should work. But yeah, there we go. Now we just got a little bit more work to do on the car, and we're going to be ready to go. Engine?
Still in the car.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're running this one. Yeah, that's right. But you did get the old motor tore apart, the old 5.3.
Yep.
So Jason got that apart, and everything looked good. There was just a small
little nick.
Small nick on the camshaft that we'll just polish out of it, so that way we can run that cam. Like I said, front timing cover, timing set, ported heads. I think I told you about all that stuff earlier, but everything looked good in that. The only thing we don't know, Jason, is probably what, crankshaft?
One with all the rods, with the main caps off and everything out of there, I couldn't spin it, so I think it's probably bent.
Yeah, I probably should have let off when he heard the bog, maybe.
Probably.
We'll have to get with Molnar and get it. We need another crank then, right? Well, unless we just run, if this is going to be a spare engine, I'd like to have a Molnar crank in it. Obviously, for now, we're running stock, but not a requirement, Jason, but if we're sending a motor over there that's built, we probably should think about it.
The crank sitting there in the box,
but that's going to go to the new 6.0. The actual primary 6 liter is going to get a brand new crank. We were going to put a crank in this one out of that 5.3, but obviously it doesn't sound very good. We'll have it checked. We'll have DNR check it before he polishes it, just to make sure.
We can check it ourselves, probably.
Well, yeah, true. We'll throw it up in the lathe or something. But all right, well, that's the situation right now. It's Saturday morning, and Jason's leaving, so I'm on my own. Small update here. I went ahead and cut off so this is the new radiator. Jason's mangled up one is over here. and we had AN fittings on there, so I did go ahead. I mean, it's not looking too bad. I guess I can show that. This one's not too bad either. But got 16s on there. This is automatic tranny, but we don't run our cooler through here. Jason has one that's tucked down in there, and it's kind of mangled up as well. Had to trim this off, and then the last thing I had to add was a couple spacers on here. So I had to add those because the petcock drain down over there, even with a plug put in it, since we don't use it, even with a plug put in, it was still hitting the channel that's going across the front of the frame. So that's done. This should be able to go back in. Jason's gonna have to get a tranny cooler. We'll have to put a new one on there when we zip the radiator fan. I think he had it zipped right through the same one, just to use those zip strips. And then Dad's tearing apart his old tank. We don't know if we can use any of this baffling out of this one into the new one, because the new one, there's a center tube in here, but it only goes down to about here. And I usually weld my fittings on down here. So I don't know if we can use these or not. I don't know. We need 3, so I'd have to add a third one for sure, because we got dry sump tank and then one for each valve cover. So I'd need another one somewhere on one of those sides, but we'll figure that out later. I hope that's a 6-inch. Looks like it might be. Check. Yep. Okay, well, we'll put the radiator in, and we'll check on oil cooler, tranny cooler, whatever, and then see if we can figure out something and cobble something together with the junk ones. Well, look at who it is. Showed up to work on his own rig. So I know I showed the radiator, but Jason got the... You got the fan ones in there? He's working on putting his little zip strips through here, pulling that through the... that's going through the fan and the trans cooler.
Not right now. The bottom 2 are going to go through.
Oh, okay. And then I went ahead and I know I said I was going to weld 2 and 1, but we did test fit it. These 2 were fine, so I welded one more on, and unfortunately I kind of had a little bit of a blowout. It got a little hot, and I had caps on all the vents. There's one on top, 2 on the side there, and then this one, and obviously the drain plug. And Jason heard a little something, but yeah, I had my hand over top of the hole, the fitting that I was welding on, and she had a little outburst of some gas. So unfortunately, kind of burnt. Thank God I was wearing a glove. It's laying over on the bench there. It's a little charred. But Jason didn't care. He said he heard something. He wasn't worried about what. Smelt something burnt. But yeah, so the radiator's good. Got to throw that tank in. What else you got left then? Water pump's on. Clear view. We need to check, make sure that's not leaking, like I said. Oh, power steering belt. We'll throw that on, and then basically get these clamps around that the tank, and the hoses are already all made, and they'll fit right in. So I put the trans tunnel back on. So we got that bolted down in there. And then we did work yeah, keep dreaming, buddy. We did work a little bit on this door, but we kind of gave up. Kind of actually pulled this screw out here, but it's dented in right now. It'll pop back out, but working on trying to get this lined up a little bit better so it actually latches. We're just off a little bit here. We got to get these body shop people a little bit better, but obviously we're slightly off there, so we need to get inside there. And oh, and we fixed the steering because it was hitting the valve cover. Yeah, Jason says you were over here and you did this the first time, actually. But we ended up cutting that off right down there. That's holding that rod in, and got it pushed away from the valve cover because it was yeah, that knuckled back there was actually rubbing against it pretty good. So, all right, we need to wrap this up. We're gonna get this off the hoist here, pick up all this porta power stuff. Oh, we gotta put the exhaust on. That might help. Passenger header won't take too long because that side's a lot easier without the starter. But yeah, we'll get it thrown together here and we'll fire it up and make sure everything looks good, sounds good, and get this one out. Roll the Camaro up on the hoist. Man, Jason, Mike would be so proud if we put this in the video.
Nick will be proud too.
Oh.
Don't do that at work.
No point. Well, the only reason why we're sleeping on it here is because I tell you what, we're getting ready to test fire this, and with this having the exhaust like this and dumping down, yeah, floor dry will be everywhere. All along the walls. Not that I don't need to clean there anyways, but I don't need to add more to the mess of the shop right now. So, got all the tires switched over, you know, because that's very important. So I did put the show wheels on the back. It actually was, because I do need to put new tires on that. Hopefully Jason can do a burnout this next time.
Yeah, I should.
Well, you did a burnout the last time, too.
I did for 20 seconds.
just a burnout in the wall. But yeah, no, we wanted to get the show wheels on, so that way we've got all 6 rims. So the goal is, you got to plug the EGTs in or not?
Yeah, I guess.
Not that that matters, you can't read them anyways, but we're gonna let it down, plug the EGTs in, and then I don't know if I'll do it tonight yet, maybe in the morning, but we'll swap these bad boys around. But let's get her lowered down and fired up. Sorry, neighbors. Nah. All right, well, working on some engine mounts here, and Jason?
It don't quite fit.
Those were like $400 headers, but that's all right.
Now they're $69.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh. I don't even think you're close to that mark.
No, that ain't where I wanted it.
Ah.
Need a bigger BFH.
I do remember on Roadkill they said it doesn't matter how dented they are.
Engine master.
Engine masters. I think they proved that we're not going to lose any horsepower, but unfortunately it's hitting the K member down there in one spot. Wasn't letting it, just wasn't, it wasn't tipping up far enough up here, kicking that bottom out. But I don't know, looks like, I mean, we've got 4 degrees back on the motor, and we're thinking it looks like the motor's doing its own wheelie, but you also got to realize we've got a massive wheel gap here that I can 4-finger my side, Jason. I don't know about yours, but you know, we got the back lowered down so much to make the ride height where we want it, and then we've got to get the drop springs 1.5 inches or 2 up front, not sure. Don't want to go too crazy, so probably just 1.5 inches first. And then, because we got some more weight to add up here, we've got, you know, your radiator, all the accessories, oil, that's going to weigh a lot. Adam getting in it, that'll definitely sag it. But yeah, so I'm going to continue to work on front mounts. I've got the mid ones done. They need finished welded. I'm just grinding the front plates right now, and then we'll get those tacked in. We'll show you that. And then we got a transmission mount made, so we'll show you that as well. Well, I was doing some welding on the Camaro, and thought I'd swing over here and check and see what Jason's doing, or if he's getting anything done.
Not a lot.
Okay, so you got fuel drained out. Yep. So going back to the issues, there's no fuel filter in here, and I think we still lost fuel pressure slightly. At the end, it was really bad. And then Jason and I were looking inside the tank here, and I don't think this happened overnight, but 1, there's an O-ring, and 2, that's the fuel sending unit over there, stuffed over there down by the drain. So I don't know if we got a nut or a bolt or whatever holds that up to the sending unit right here, but the whole arm, hell, the whole motor and everything, sensor, everything fell off of that. So unfortunately, what do we got going down here?
Well, I'm gonna see if we can
find the nut or something, or
something. I'm gonna stick this down in the hole.
Yep.
So the farther I can, unless you can reach your hand down in there and guide it in the hole more. You got smaller hands than me. Where's the kids at?
No. What's it actually hitting on? The fitting?
Probably a 90 degree.
All right. Well, maybe we'll monkey around with this a little bit more and see. This is going down around the corner. There's more lead left here. We could look down another few foot, but there's a filter somewhat underneath the driver's seat, and then the one up front. I don't know. Worst case, we might have to pull the line off. We changed that filter though, Jason, didn't we? Just recently.
Yeah, we did. So.
And there was nothing in it. But again, where did the nut and the bolt and all that stuff?
It's not stuck in the 90 that we thought maybe it would have been.
Yeah. Which means it should have made it to the filter. But worst case, we'll take the filter off underneath the seat, take that hose off coming back to here, and then we can answer the question, maybe find that stuff. All right, well, it's the next night, and man, it is just raining like a son of a gun out there. I know you really can't see much except, you know, water on the window, but we overnighted a bunch of parts from Summit Racing, and we're at the final stretch here. So I'm gonna start taking this apart, getting the tape back off the shocks, getting everything bolted in here with the actual grade 8 hardware for like 4-link bars, get that stuff measured out, everything tightened, third member in, which I've got one upstairs, and then basically, Jason, drive shaft's gonna get made this in a day or two, they said. So, oh, they're not very busy? What's it gonna cost us? A peach crown? Yeah. Well, it's gonna cost us more than that, but to get it done right away, you know, we might have to, you know, entice them a little bit, but nothing's getting painted here. So we'll get the shocks in, third member, the axles back in, and then we'll get the drive shaft made, and then I'm just gonna keep working my way up front. And tonight we gotta get the motor pulled out, and then, yeah, I guess we get a drive shaft, we'll tow the tranny in, we got dipstick coming, we've got the torque converter and all that stuff. Well, I don't know, but we're gonna keep plugging away. Jason's over there, he's gonna finish up Death Trap, get the fuel tank. Well, he's over here now, yeah, obviously, not doing anything. But he's got...
Waiting for food.
Yeah. He's gonna pull the, just a line off the tank, we'll just check that in the filter. If we're good there, we'll get the garbage out of the tank, because we don't need the sending unit, and then we're just gonna have to swing it again, because the pump was, $1,200 for that pump?
Yep.
I mean, we have a spare, but it's going on the Camaro, obviously, because it came off burning green, but we're going to swing it again, and hopefully we can bring home some more cash to help pay for an extra pump so we can have a spare. I hope there's nothing wrong with it, but, well, let's get to the action. Enough rambling on. We got a lot of work to do, and it's Monday. We got to leave Friday morning because I looked it up, Jason. It's over 18 hours there.
16.
Well, I looked up Stafford, Connecticut, and it's 18, so, and it's only Jason and I driving, so unfortunately we don't have a third wheel bed to drive 90% of it, so. All right, let's get to it. I think we're gonna call it a night here. Everything on the rear end, including the anti-roll bar, has all been installed. They got all that done. Got the shocks, all the tape taken off. Put all of the grade 8 hardware in, except a few spots where I welded tabs on. Didn't have grade 8 hardware. You an inspector here?
I don't think you got enough goop on there.
Why?
Look at the bottom. This gives a gap.
El Gapo?
Look, it's dripping out of it.
I'll probably better take it out now. Well, I was excited to say that we had all this done. Okay, well, we might have to pull the axles again. So we're not done, but it is looking good anyways with all that stuff in there. So there's a good look at that. We got drive shaft measurement, so that way we can call them tomorrow. We can have that done, and still got some of these dots on here from 3D scanning, I guess, but they'll go along for the ride. So, well, we'll pull axles back out, pull the third member, re-goop it back up. I guess I was being, not trying to wasteful. It should have a gasket on it. I probably have one sitting on the shelf over there, but all right, we'll do that, and then I think we're gonna call it a night, and we'll come back tomorrow. We don't have much left to do. What are you doing? You just got up because I'm starting to record, or what? Dropping a package off at the front.
Yep.
Well, Jason and I, we're sitting here. What are we doing? Contemplating life.
Yeah.
So most of you probably expected this. If you didn't, you should have, because it's typical fashion. Actually, we do kind of finish almost every build last minute.
Yeah.
So that's not typical fashion. But unfortunately, Jason's kind of telling me we're giving up.
On the Camaro for this weekend.
On the Camaro for this weekend for Connecticut.
But next weekend.
Hold on. We're going to get... Next weekend?
That's what Scott said. With a good motor.
Okay. I mean, we got to pull the third member back out. It's not the end of the world. I've got a tray made in here for the fuel tank. Oh, let me get off my butt here and just show you. Because the fuel tank is going to be so large, I didn't think about that when I made this. I just had this piece Maybe that's going to, whatever, you'll get the idea. It's going to attach up here so that way this platform will extend up onto this. So we're going to have a 25-gallon fuel cell in here because we're going to just be doing power skids over in Australia, mate.
And next weekend too.
Well, maybe. We'll see. We better tell DJ we need more tires. But yeah, so this will be, I think it's 20 by 30 and it's 10 inches tall. And then it's going to have a sump, which this will keep it up into the trunk area versus hanging out. So then all we got to do is direct a line down. And I don't know, Jason, I was kind of thinking maybe we might actually take the line, if it'll work, and sweep it back around, and maybe we just cut something in this angled part here.
Hole here,
yeah.
Or whatever, and then
we'll see. And then we'll just run that straight forward, because that would actually be, the frame rail is right here. So that would all be directly inside of the frame rail, guarded by the inner wheel tub as well, so that would keep it nice and safe. But yeah, well, we still got stuff to finish on the other builds.
we should get it done here so we can.
Yeah, let me check the time, 8:11. We kind of just been sitting here for the last 30 minutes deciding.
30.
Jason's been sitting for 50 because he ate pizza too. But yeah, then maybe we can see about, you know, getting our steering column in here. We're going to get some seat brackets ordered. I was going to see about just cutting something on my own, but we're going to order something. And then I can finish welding up, you know, our motor mount, stuff like that. Get the transmission pulled out so it's ready for the actual transmission. I'm not saying I'm going to have time, Jason, but I'd like to clean that up there because I kind of already about cut my arm on earlier, but be realistic. I mean, we're still going to be pushing it for next weekend, guys.
You got to make a bracket for the...
Yeah, actually, we need to go over some of the parts. Maybe we'll do that as we go to put them in.
We got time next week.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time next week. We can go over that. But what did I even buy? Bear?
A bear? Yeah.
Bear. I bought a bear. But very nice master cylinder piece. And then we've got to get coils mounted to the mid plate. I mean...
We got to run brake lines and all that
yeah.
crap.
I mean, it's literally... You guys are seeing it. I mean, it needs a fuel system. It needs wired. It needs brakes.
Look at the dash.
What dash?
Yeah, right. Needs a windshield. Yeah, it's cracked.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later. But yeah, dash pad. I did get a bezel adapter that will take care of like getting these out of there, and it'll actually hold our Holley 6.86, which is still in burnt green, so that's got to be robbed out. Just a crap ton of stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna put on the back burner. So unfortunately, that's all this video is gonna pertain, is us trying to get something done, and then we can't say giving up.
Thinking about that, I don't think we're going to have the main motor done next week because we're wanting to go dry sump. So you got to build a dry sump tank. And
Okay, so now we're changing plans again. I get told if we wait, we're going to have the main motor
I forgot
done.
about the dry sump situation.
Well, we'll build the main motor, we'll run it wet sump, and then we'll change it over.
Change it to dry later.
Hopefully we don't suck at the pad dry.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a good motor, we're going to turn that thing pretty hard, so. All right, well, stick around. Come back for the next video. Let's see what we got going on. I might include a few updates of things. Nah, we probably won't. Next video will be at Cleetus and Cars. Burnout Rivals, whatever you want to call it. So, all right, appreciate it, guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Head on over to boosted-ride.com. Pick up some shirts, merch. Get some free parts, some blowed up engine pieces. We've got all kinds of stuff. So head on over there, pick up something, and we'll see you guys in the next one.